Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hello. This is episode 52 of the Film Blurs. My name is Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. Hero Protagonist, a.k.a. the true father of Joe's kids, a.k.a. Poppy Chulo, a.k.a. the Glizzy King, a.k.a. Mr. Krusty, a.k.a.
the Little Protector,
a.k.a. I want a Subaru Outback so I can have mad strippers in the back giving shape-ups, a.k.a. my biggest pet peeve is sports because I don't like seeing grown men sweat on each other, a.k.a. Rough McGruff, a.k.a. oh man, these nuts play basketball now. I dunk on them with my nuts out, a.k.a. B-Wood the Magnificent. And I'm joined here once again by...
Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. Uncle Jeffrey, a.k.a. J.O.T. Dynamite, a.k.a.
Revengeman Button,
a.k.a. He Who Remains, a.k.a.
Penny Ruxpin.
a.k.a. Jobu Tupaki, a.k.a.
Little Tom Cruise.
a.k.a. this motherfucker, a.k.a. To Be Determined.
We're going to jump right into it. Let's start with some news that broke this morning. I know, Jeff, you're probably excited about this because, you know, I don't really fuck with this show, but The Boys got renewed for season 4.
Yeah, I didn't even know that until just you. This is breaking news for me. Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of the comic, now season 3 is really getting into like the graphic stuff that made the comic kind of really interesting when it dropped back in like the early 2000s or whatever like that. So we're 4 episodes in and we're already getting to season 4. So, I mean, people are loving the show. And honestly, I didn't expect the show to last this long.
Well, Amazon said they're trying to, you know, get a lot more genre and geek stuff in their streaming originals. And I get it because, you know, obviously, I hope they slow down a little because, like, y'all motherfuckers spent $1 billion on one season of TV. I don't want y'all to like go bust, go belly up.
Don't Netflix it.
Learn from their mistakes.
Yeah. But like, honestly, the original content that's coming out of Amazon, I've really been digging it. Like Outer Range, The Boys.
Yo, if that doesn't get a season 2,
it's got to get a season 2, man. Like,
oh my god.
Right, what was it? Into the Loop? What was that? Was the other sci-fi?
Oh, Tales from the Loop.
Tales from the Loop.
I still haven't finished that.
Yeah, I think I was 6 episodes in. It was just like I need to take a break. But I mean, that's this kind of sci-fi that I want. It's personal, and it's intelligent, and it's not about spectacle. It's about wonder and discovery. So, fucking good on Amazon, you know, for season 4 of The Boys. Congratulations.
All right. Well, let's move into our next piece of news, which is announced yesterday. A Thunderbolts movie has been greenlit for Marvel, and they're going to have the guy who directed Paper Towns to direct it, and it's being written by Eric Pearson. He worked on some previous Marvel things. One of them was Black Widow, so I'm just like, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, is it a movie or is it a movie?
Series? It's a movie.
Yeah.
This is apparently what Allegra de Fontaine has been building up to, and I was just like, you know, what made Nick Fury cool and what made that poppin' was like he came out and just said, "Hey, I'm building the Avengers Initiative." You could have just had her say like, "Hey, I'm building a team called the Thunderbolts," and that's that because as far as the universe goes, we still have no idea what she's fucking doing.
Right.
Rumored to be on the roster of Thunderbolts is Zemo, U.S. Agent Yelena, and quite possibly Bucky, but they might want to save Bucky for Cap 4.
I mean, okay, cool.
It's going to be their version of Suicide Squad.
Right. At this point, I'll hold all excitement until I actually see the movie.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Like,
Yeah.
like with all this Marvel stuff now, I'm just like, sure, man, it is what it is.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right.
We'll get into some more Marvel stuff a little later, but yeah, man,
like Marvel, show us what you got, because right now TV is outpacing you.
So, our boy,
our person. Can we even say boy? Can we?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Our sentient being,
our non-binary person, is back again in the news just after WB's like, yeah, we're sticking by you. You're gonna be the new face of DC. This motherfucker once again doing some crazy shit.
So Ezra, what are you doing, man? You're making Jersey look bad, dude.
So Ezra Miller has apparently been grooming this girl, giving her alcohol, weed, and LSD. Two of those are normal for me. LSD, I don't know.
Right. And you know what? It's all, I can't judge experimentation, but also like he's pulling some R. Kelly shit.
Yes.
Like separating her from her parents and shit like that, taking her on these long trips and whatever. Now she is 18, so it's not as illegal, but also they've been friends since she was 12. That's where the grooming thing comes in.
I don't know what to say at this point, man. They clearly need some help. You know what I mean? Like it's just clear they need some help, and not for nothing. Like WB, cut your losses. Like at this point, once you hit Flash 2, 3, and 4, like there has to be a different lead actor. Like I don't care how good the fucking movie is.
This is a perfect example of they shouldn't have gave that nigga money.
Yeah. I mean, we're still dealing with the fallout from Snyder and Kevin Tushihara, because this was a Snyder hire. That was his Flash.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I'm not gonna put that on Zack Snyder, because like how do you vet for this level of crazy?
This is what sucks now. As like a filmmaker, me personally, now I'm gonna have to literally do background checks on everybody I work with, just because now I'm just like, well, I mean, I don't want to work with, like, I don't want to hire, like, hey, I've discovered this, I'll go on Broadway, see like a Broadway show, see like an actor I've never seen before, blown away by him, be like, hey man, you want to star in this movie? You're the lead role. He says yes, and then come to find out, oh, he has a whole history of like, doing awful things, and it's just like, well, fuck me, man.
Right.
So now I'm gonna have to vet everybody as a creative.
I mean,
that's exhausting.
I mean, honestly, I thought they did that anyway. There's always got to be like a look into someone's history just to see if anything comes up and fucks up the brand. But like I said, this is a new level of weird. Like you can't, because he met her when he was already like Ezra Miller, or when they were already Ezra Miller,
right?
Right. So like he went off the rails while he was rich. It's not like he came into the game with his 12 to 18-year-old entourage of LSD freaks.
Yeah, I got nothing to say, man. I got nothing else to say other than like, the multiverse exists for a reason, and at this point, I think it's so sad. At this point, I'm just like, y'all should just probably do a hard reset.
They have the technology, man. They could deep fake anyone's face onto Ezra Miller's, or they could do this.
I would literally just hit the hard reset button on the DC EU. They did that in the comics back in 2015 with Rebirth, and you know what? It worked out for them. Like, y'all gotta, sometimes you have to hit that reset button. So
there we go.
Yeah. Moving on. Tokyo Vice has been renewed for season 2 at HBO Max, but despite that good news, Raised by Wolves has been canceled. So no third season. So
Look.
now this show is just sitting there on a huge cliffhanger. Hopefully another streaming service or television channel will pick it up and continue, but I doubt it.
Look, I'm surprised that Raised by Wolves got a second season, just because it was too highbrow, it was too weird, it was too intelligent. And these are all the things that people have been clamoring for in sci-fi. And then when they get it, it's like, oh, well, this is a little too weird. It's a little too smart. So they give it what you want. And when when you get it, you don't want it. So like, I'm kind of glad that I haven't even started season 2 of Raised by Wolves, because I was waiting for all of it, and like I was gonna binge watch it in a weekend. I was really looking forward to that, and now I'm like, well, if there's gonna be a fucking big ass cliffhanger,
there's no point.
I may never get any kind of resolution towards.
Yeah, there's no point. There's just no point now.
Yeah, so thanks for ruining the second season for me, HBO Max.
Well, glass half full type of situation, because at least we're getting season 2 of Tokyo Vice, man.
Right, and that, oh god, talk about a fucking cliffhanger. Like, they set that up for a season 2. Like, there was no way they couldn't. The story dictated a season 2.
Let's just pray.
Ensign doesn't pull an Ezra.
Well, I mean, he's already been grooming people. Like, that's out and about. But besides that, I let's just pray HBO Max doesn't get cold feet about this one.
True.
So, moving on, the Joker sequel has finished the script. The script was dated like May 22nd. And Todd Phillips posted to his Instagram and to his Twitter the picture of the title page of the script, as well as Joaquin reading the script. It is titled Joker Folie à Deux. As far as Joker goes, I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just basically a combination of King of Comedy and Taxi Driver. And I just remember vividly watching a grown-ass man, like in his 40s, having a fucking meltdown that it lost Best Picture to Parasite. And I'm just and this nigga got high-pitched in his voice, like sounding like a 15-year-old child. And it's one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen.
Look, I did enjoy Joker despite a lot of the problematic aspects of it. Watching Joaquin Phoenix act is watching Joaquin Phoenix act. Like I could.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie,
right? I could watch.
It's not great,
right? I could watch him read the phone book. It's like, all right, cool. That's 2 hours. Well worth it. No one expected this from Todd Phillips, at all. And so it was good. I like the sort of reinvention of this whole entire Batverse thing. I hope they never bring Batman into this Joker movie, honestly.
Well, I mean, I don't think Joaquin would even consider that. He'd be like, no. Because obviously he's gonna have a creative say,
right.
And two, I don't think Todd Phillips is interested in doing that shit either. I really think it's going to be either him and Harley Quinn, like his version of Harley Quinn, or it might be him against a copycat dueling Jokers.
Right. But like I've said this before we even started the podcast, like, if you took the IP, the Joker, out of this movie, I think I would enjoy it. I would have enjoyed it better.
Yeah.
Like if it's his own creative, like this is a hybrid of King of Comedy and Taxi Driver, and it's this character, fucking clown face Steve, who has a nervous breakdown. I think I would have enjoyed it even more. I think I would have called it actually great.
I do like the central theme of the movie, which is we got to treat each other better and we got to be nicer to each other.
Right.
but it also vindicates those the section of people where I'm just like, don't talk to me, stay away from me.
Right.
The
And like,
incels, you know.
right. But yeah, and the fan base once again for this movie is the fan base for a lot of these, properties. They're kind of toxic. Like I've had arguments with people online over the Joker movie, and it's like, why are we doing this? Like, why are you so upset?
I hate that shit. I hate that shit where I'll post my opinion, and then some motherfucker will come in and be like, "Well, I like this one better," or that, or I'm just like, "Nigga, I don't care. I'm stating my opinion."
Right.
I see opinions all the time on social media of people I don't agree with. You know what I do? I just keep scrolling, or I just ignore it. What I don't get it. Like, you're not gonna change anybody's mind that way.
Right. Like, it's yelling at me is not going to get me to agree with you.
Yes, man.
But congratulations, another paycheck for
Well, we'll see. Well, it all depends. Now, I mean, of course, WB is going to greenlight it because the first one cost like what, 60 million and made $1 billion.
Right.
It's just a matter if Joaquin wants to do it. Like he's reading the script. There was a picture of him reading the script. It's just, and I know William Dafoe, when the first one came out, said he was pissed that he wasn't the
Joker.
And he came out and he said, they should absolutely do a sequel where I'm a copycat Joker. So it's dueling Jokers, my Joker versus Joaquin's Joker. And I was like, I get that. I get where it's coming from. The end of the movie did set that up. Because, Arthur Fleck, for all we know, is not the Joker.
Right.
I
mean, I would be down with that. But like, once again, it's another scenario like fucking John. I can't even pronounce this nigga's name. Jim from the Office, Krasinski. The fan art of him as Reed Richards, and then they put him in
Multiverse
of Madness as Reed Richards. It's the same thing with like, I think Boss Logic did the same thing with Willem Dafoe and made him as the Joker. And it's like another one of those fucking fan fictions come to life.
Well, hold on real quick. This is what Google's for. To do cleanup like this. Let's see this. Because this is my first time.
You've never seen the Willem Dafoe as the Joker?
No. And everything that's coming up is just Christian Bale or just it's nothing really.
Yeah, there's fan fiction. There's fan art out there.
Hold on. Okay, yeah, it is what it. I mean, sure. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, do I think this movie needs a sequel? No, but whatever. Listen, I'm not shitting on it. I'm not against it, but I'm not for it. You know what I mean? Like, if it comes out and it's great, awesome, man. If it comes out and it sucks, well, that sucks. It's just, it is what it is.
Right. Does the story need to be told? Is that why they're making it? Or are they making it just because like, oh, we can make another fucking $1 billion? That's where I am with it. It's like, is there an actual story that needs to be told with this sequel? Then fine, cool. God bless you. And I can't wait to see it. If it's not, if it's just like, we need to make some more money, I'm then like, nah, I'm a hard pass. Well,
I'm going to give, like I said, the earliest we'll see this is probably 2024, right?
Right.
So wait, I'll reserve judgment till I lay eyes on it.
Right.
All right. In our last bit, we're going to do some cleanup for Jurassic World Dominion because there's some shit we both like. The more we talk about this movie, the more we hate it. Like, this movie is so reviled that a critic, I don't even know who the motherfucker was. This motherfucker walks in with his guest.
Right.
finds his seat and just announces to everybody, he's like, "Whoo! Can't wait to watch this movie with giant locusts." And we all started busting out laughing because we
Right.
knew exactly what the fuck he was talking about.
And we were just making locust jokes all fucking night. So like what parts of this movie did we newly discover that we hated? Do you want to talk about BD Wong's character?
Yeah, well, here's my thing. BD Wong starts off this series as
Just like a benevolent fucking
scientist, like a lab rat. And then for some reason in Jurassic World, he's like this sniveling, conniving, evil scientist that continues. And they take it a little further in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And now in this one, out of nowhere, he's remorseful, he's regretful, and he's like, I gotta right my wrongs. And I'm just like, what?
Like we didn't even need him in the series. Like they put him in Jurassic World just so they could have some sort of cursory connection to the first movie. And everyone was like,
Right.
oh shit, that's the scientist from Jurassic Park, the original. And like I still haven't seen Fallen Kingdom. But like I was watching Dominion and I'm like, did I miss something in Fallen Kingdom? Did he become a good guy in Fallen Kingdom? Because he was a fucking asshole in Jurassic World.
He became more of a scumbag in Fallen Kingdom. So it's weird now that in this movie, all of a sudden he's just, I need to right my wrongs. And I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah. And let's also, like, another thing I fucking hated, and I guess it kind of on the whole entire line of BD Wong, I fucking hate how it's exposition through PowerPoint presentation. Like literally his whole entire plan to get rid of the mega locusts is spelled out in a 20-second PowerPoint presentation. Like, how fucking lazy is that? You know,
I mean, that's just the movie in general. The whole shit is just lazy and nonsensical, to be quite honest with you. You know, and a lot of people have said the same thing I've said, because now, you know, it came out. We're recording this on a Friday. This movie came out and had their, you know, their Thursday previews. And basically now general public, there's people who do love this movie because, you know, some people just want to be entertained and turn their brain off. Fine, whatever. And then those same people are mad that critics and other people don't like it. But I'm just like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
But it's not a good movie. Like I love bad movies. You know, like Armageddon is not a good movie. But I love the shit out of it.
But people are basically saying the same thing I said, which is, you know, you have this whole world open up where you want to see dinosaurs just like lose their shit and tear shit up. And how are we going to adapt in this new status quo of Jurassic World? And it's not there.
There's no,
it's not there.
Where's the Dominion in it? You know, like you have a title like Jurassic World Dominion. You're thinking, all right, it's fucking man versus nature.
Yes,
like we're like who's gonna rule the fucking planet? And then we get fucking not Monsanto and evil locusts. I'm fucking just furious now, the more I think of it, that the whole entire movie wasn't just Battle at Big Rock
or the prologue, because those two are what I thought we were getting, which because the prologue is basically like the dinosaurs tearing up a drive-in, and Battle at Big Rock is like a whole family on vacation under attack by a T-Rex, and that ain't this movie.
Right. I mean, if you want a better Jurassic Park Dominion, just watch the San Diego chase from Lost World. I mean,
here's my question, because we talked about this. Why the fuck was Chris Pratt riding a horse and lassoing dinosaurs?
I have like
he catches and releases them.
Right. Here's the thing, right? So was he trying to herd all of them? Or was he trying to get one specifically, or was he or did they just need a fucking hero shot? And I think it's just they needed an epic hero shot, but it made no fucking sense. And did I don't know if I talked about this last time. Did you notice how Chris Pratt's accent just shifted?
Yes, you said that last time.
Okay, but like it bothers me so much. Like they're trying to make him fucking the Stetson man, and he's always going to be, fucking Dwyer from
Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
Andy. It's not a satisfying ending because it just, like I said in the last one, this just seems like it's another adventure. Like they're here just to do some shit. Like somebody pointed this out on social media too. They said, you guys could have took this a million different ways now with the way the world is. And instead of going in any of those directions, we're back in a nondescript laboratory and more generic looking woods. And I'm like, yeah.
Like I don't. And the critics who are like praising this movie, like
I've only seen a couple.
But like the ones I've seen was like, were we watching the same fucking movie? And like the things that you liked about it aren't even good. Like in it, like if you were like, look, it's not a good movie, but I enjoyed it because I like seeing fucking dinosaurs, right?
All right,
I can respect that. But like I've seen like there's one review, I think it was on fucking BuzzFeed. This person was like, it is the perfect close to the Jurassic World saga. It was like, there was everything was resolved and it opens up things to, grander stories to begin with, going forward. And I was like, but where did you see that? Because I didn't see that.
It's interesting to me to read an interview just before we started recording this, where Colin Trevorrow said they asked him about the future of this franchise. And he said, there's probably some young filmmaker out there who sees this movie and probably gets an idea for like the next 20 years of where this franchise is headed. And I'm just like, nigga, I watched the second movie, like the end of the second movie where the dinosaurs are now like roaming free and doing all types of shit. I could have did like 8 more movies off of that. And you decided to do this.
Look, Colin Trevorrow or whatever, I don't even care to say his name right. He is right. This will inspire a young filmmaker because they're going to see this movie and they're going to say, "Oh wow, that piece of shit. I know I can do better than that." So it's going to be the next installment of whatever Jurassic Park IP is going to be made out of spite, just to prove that it can be done the right way.
I'm still hung up on the giant locust. I'm just like, the dinosaurs take a back seat
to the
in this film to fucking locust, which it doesn't make sense to me. And the fact that they're out and they're free and they're untethered from any fucking control, and instead of doing that, you did locust. Like, there's people who hate it, who have said like, yeah, I was entertained, but I hate the fucking movie. And I get it.
Yeah.
Because parts of this shit is enjoyable. But I mean, I will say this movie's fucking dog shit. But to me, it is better than Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
Because there is at least there's shit in here I enjoy. Like, I enjoy seeing the OG cast. There's 1 or 2 set pieces where I'm like, okay, that's cool. Some dude tweeted he went to a screening last night. He said it was so ridiculously loud, but he wasn't entertained. And this is his exact words were, "I wasn't entertained until a very large man sitting 5 rows behind me fell asleep halfway through the movie and started snoring and did not wake up until the movie was over because people around him started moving. And we all heard him throughout the entire film." He said even during the fucking ridiculously loud parts, you could still hear him snoring. And I'm just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
No, I get it. Yeah, some of the scenes are exciting, but the rest of it's just let's force them into another situation without any real thought of actual narrative flux, like narrative propulsion. Let's just all right now now they're ejecting out of the airplane and now they're separated.
That's what we got to talk about because we were shitting on this too.
Right. Okay.
So you brought this up and it pissed me off too because I said this to you and then you brought up the other thing that made it even worse. Right. I said to you, you have a cargo plane. Them shits are unreliable. Why the fuck don't you have at least 3 or 4 parachutes in that motherfucker? And then you're like, also, why is
the navigator seat have an ejector seat?
There's no such. The only type of plane that would have an ejector seat is a fighter jet, not a fucking cargo plane. And as you said, it's the navigator, not the pilot, not the co-pilot, the navigator.
Right?
Are you fucking insane?
Like who was in charge of set design? I mean, I guess they have to do it based on the script. So I get it. Like you're just doing your job. But did no one say like, hey, you know what? In a real plane, when it's crashing, you would think that the pilot would want to escape.
Right. And I get the navigator knows, like, let's say they crash in the ocean or they crash in the desert. Like the navigator would know to look at the stars and how to get to out of what place they're stranded. But
but everyone else is dead because there's no other ejector seats.
You're right.
Like,
that's fucking stupid.
Right. That makes sense if like all 3 of those seats could eject. It's like, all right, the navigator is going to be able to.
Well, I guess they gave it to the person who could survive the most. You know what I mean? The person who knows.
See,
but that's stupid. But it's stupid. The logic there is it's nonsensical.
Right. And like that's a lot of the movie. Like it's a lot of nonsensical shit. Like the fucking laser raptors with the with Ninja Bitch.
See, I mean, they trained the Raptors in the first movie. It's just the fact that character just shows up out of nowhere.
Right.
Like she was hired by Campbell Scott's character. Biosyn is the name of the company in this movie, and like going forward, no more evil corporations in this fucking franchise.
Like I don't know if I was talking to you or I was talking to someone else. The perfect pitch for this, I was talking to you when we were outside. The fucking you want a Jurassic World Dominion movie? How about we just have a really rich dude collecting dinosaurs?
Well, that was the second movie.
Oh, well, there you go. See, I didn't see the second movie because
here's my other thing too. I thought about this. Jurassic World, they even say in the movie you can only go to Jurassic World if you're uber rich. How pissed would you be where you went to Jurassic World, the park falls apart while you're there, your family dies because the park shut down after the first movie because that shit fell apart. How pissed would you be that you went there, you paid all that money, your family died, and then 5-6 years later, now dinosaurs are everywhere. I'm like, bitch, right. I just paid all this money to ride a fucking Triceratops. Now there's a fucking T-Rex in my backyard that's fucking stomping half my house down.
I mortgaged 5 children to get I literally sold 5 children in order to ride a fucking Triceratops.
You see what I mean? Like we could have gotten to even an economics movie in this universe would have been interesting.
Right.
Nobody thinks of that shit.
Right. Fucking it's called just fucking the Big Short, but with dinosaurs. Anything would be better than this.
Like that's what I want to see. I want to see a series about the dude who paid for his family of 4 to go to Jurassic World. Jurassic World fucking broke down. The dinosaurs ran loose. People got eaten. And then 5 years later, he's like, fuck, I paid all this money just for these motherfuckers to run through my house now?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Also, we were talking about this too. And now Doc's Jurassic World a bit for this. I said to Jeff, like, imagine if me and Jeff, we won a trip or we saved up money and we went to Jurassic World. And, you know, I'm there trying to have a good time. Like, I'm trying to ride a Triceratops. I'm trying to fucking pet a baby Stegosaurus and shit like that. I'm trying to, like, feed a Brontosaurus and all that. And this nigga here, it's just like, okay, you go do that. I'm going to go try to get some ass. Like, you see that girl there? I'm going to try to fuck this girl.
Right. And that's, you know, I had never thought about that until you brought it up from Jurassic World, you know, like the brother and sister, or the brothers, the brothers, the
two kids in the movie,
right? Because
Nick Robinson is the teenager, and then you got the younger son. And it's just, I was talking to Jeff about this. I'm like, yo, you have literally extinct animals. This park is hard to get into. They got into it because their aunt runs the shit.
Right.
And instead of like enjoying the ride and shit,
like
this nigga's just trying to get laid. Yeah,
right?
I was just like, get the fuck out of here.
There's pussy everywhere. Like literally, we are making new people to fuck every day. You know, when's the next time you're gonna be able to see a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
I think I'm not. Don't quote me on this, but I think they said statistically women outnumber men 2-1. I
thought it was 51% of the population, but it could be 2-1. Yeah.
Either way, there's more women than men, and this is what this dude's gonna do. He's gonna go to a park that costs $1 million a day to do anything remotely exciting. He has VIP passes. Hey, I could get to the front of the line, and instead he's just like, I just want to get laid.
Look, I'm trying to crush some puss, dude. I was like, but there's a fucking pterodactyl, man.
If this was me and you, I would record you. I would do everything. I would be like, I would post all over social media, like, hey, I'm here trying to have a good time with my friend, and my friend here is trying to get laid. Look at all this shit, like dinosaurs, like free booze, free food, parties, late night parties
with dinosaurs. You know,
look at this dude's doing.
Trying to fucking just fuck. And like, the Jurassic World series has been wrong since its inception. It just keeps on getting worse. Do they even bring back the nephews in Fallen Kingdom?
No.
So they were just.
Yeah, they were one and done.
They one and done. Okay.
Yeah. So the kids have been shitty since 2.
Since Jurassic World 2 or Jurassic Park 2?
Lost World.
I
I would say the last movie to have kids that were bearable was The Lost World. And then 3, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and especially this one, I'm just like, fuck these kids.
Yeah, I hope they get eaten by dinosaurs.
Yo, and they tell this little nigga, like, yo, don't go anywhere you're not supposed to. Please stay where you're supposed to go. You got all this access as is. And he's like, yo, let's go off the beaten path. Let's take the VIP tour. I'm just like, yo, your brother is about to shit himself already. And you decide to go to the most dangerous part where there's nobody watching y'all.
Right. And here's the fucking thing. Let's go off the beaten path. Let's, steal this, whatever. Fucking dinosaurs, man. Like, what sane person is gonna and it's not like they are not aware of everything that fucked up in the first Jurassic Park when you go off the beaten trail. Yeah, so it's so dumb. Everything's dumb.
Yeah,
they fucked this series.
I'm begging you guys, please just hold on to your money and either just wait or go see Top Gun.
Yeah, see Top Gun again.
Or go see Lightyear. There's movies coming out. Like, Like, The Black Phone's coming out. I'm going to get into that. Elvis is coming out.
Right,
like, Marcel the Shell is coming out. Yeah, man. Just there's so many movies that are in the pipeline. Just fucking save your money. This will be on HBO or Peacock in like by August.
It's in 2 weeks. Because like the way the numbers are going to crash after this weekend, they're going to have to put it on Peacock like next week.
Peacock.
Yeah, man. Don't waste your hard-earned money here.
Go
Unless
see Mobius again.
Unless you have AMC A-list where you just make a reservation and go see the motherfucker, fine. But if you're gonna spend like anything over 50 cents, don't. It ain't even worth the 50 cents. So, Jeff, what have you watched lately?
What you watching? What you watching? I said what you watching? What you watching?
What are you watching?
Since we did 2 episodes in a week, I really haven't had a chance to watch too much, but we'll go over it. Because it's Pride Month, I decided to watch a documentary on HBO Max that I've been wanting to see for years, but never really had the motivation to actually sit down and watch. And I'm glad I finally watched it. I should have watched it, years ago. Paris is Burning.
Oh, you haven't seen that before?
No, I had never seen Paris is Burning before.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I'd heard about it and everything like that.
Damn, nigga.
Yeah, man. You can't watch everything, Paris is Burning is a fucking amazing documentary about the drag scene in the late 80s and what it meant to be like an African American in the drag scene, be a homosexual in New York in the 80s with the AIDS and everything going on. And it's really a snapshot of New York right before it got hit with the Disney ray gun.
It was when New York was still dangerous.
Right. And
speaking real quick, not to cut you off.
Yep.
Some lady tweeted out that she said, "I don't feel safe in New York today. I feel like New York is dangerous, the most dangerous it's ever been." I'm like, is this bitch out of her fucking mind?
Is she talking about terrorism or is she just talking about just niggas?
I mean, she's talking about in general, but she's one of she's one of the Let's Go Brandon people.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
I was like, yo, she's lived, and she says she's lived in New York all of her life. And somebody pointed out to her, she's like, yo, you were a child in the 80s.
Right?
The 70s and the 80s, the most dangerous time in New York.
Yeah, New York is possibly one of the safest cities in America
right now, yeah.
Just because, not even talking about like after, Giuliani brought Disney in and cleaned up the whole entire city and brought in the stormtroopers. But then we had 9/11.
Yep.
And so
the only place that's still dangerous is East New York and Brownsville. Like I'm tired of people being aggressive and asking me where to go. So I always tell them, I always give them directions to Brownsville. Brownsville is so dangerous that even I remember doing a shoot and the cops are like, yo, I want you guys to understand, once the sun sets, we're out of here. We're out of here. We're out of here. Now, we all looked at each other and I was just like, well, this ain't my shoot. So nigga, like if they leaving, I'm out of here too. Like, good luck.
Like, you're not paying me that much. But yeah, so fuck that. Fuck. There's the most, feel unsafe. Well, feel as unsafe there as you would anywhere else, because everything is shit. You fucking moron. Like, everywhere is shit.
Yeah.
So you're in the place where if things go to shit, at least they'll be able to respond within a half hour. You're not in the fucking middle of Duluth where the nearest hospital is 2 hours away. Right?
I want to take her to one of the projects in Brownsville and just lock the door and have her run through the fucking building like the raid and see if she makes it out. Like have her do it overnight.
I was like, bitch, go to Camden. You want dangerous? Go to Camden.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, Paris is Burning. And like, it's great seeing how much of black gay culture has been appropriated. Especially Madonna. Voguing. That's where
I
she
mean,
got. That's where she got
yeah.
voguing from.
I mean, people have been calling her out on that shit. I mean, but you see how she is, like,
right.
Right.
But like, still to this day, like the forefront of a lot of culture, it came from gays in the 80s, but especially like black gays in the 80s.
Yeah, nigga.
So and it's just, this movie is beautifully shot. Like it came out in 90, but they were shooting it since like fucking 85.
Yeah.
It's a documentary, so they were using real film. But it was like, it's got this creaminess to it. It's got this life to it, and the characters, like the not characters, but like the interview subjects are engaging.
Yeah.
It's a great documentary. So if you haven't seen Paris is Burning, do yourself a favor and watch that on HBO Max.
Hey Jeff, answer me this question.
Yep.
Why is it called Paris is Burning? I always wondered that.
I'm going to take a stab at that because you think of Paris as the center of high fashion and culture throughout the world, right?
Right.
And you would think that's kind of a play on like, all right, we're here now. Our shit is, setting the world on fire. I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's a Google search we should do.
Okay.
If any of our listeners can actually tell us why the documentary is called Paris is Burning,
hit us up on a social, one of our
socials, or like send us an email. Do we get emails anymore?
From important people.
Oh, okay.
That's business.
All right. Yeah, I'm just saying everyone can write us. Moving
Go
on
through our socials. The email's business.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so moving on to that, I let Tubi take me away, and I just went in there and clicked something randomly, and it took me to Taken, the Liam Neeson launch pad that made him an action star instead of like a real actor. I haven't seen Taken, I guess, in years, and when I saw it, I thought it was it was cool enough. It was good enough for the time period. It was different enough. Watching it now, it just seems like a white Republican male's wet dream.
To go into another country and just beat the shit out of people?
No, that, and it's like, oh, see, we told you don't stay in America and you don't listen to the white male authority. This is what happens. You get taken. You get took. And then I got to go over there with my fucking big, long missiles and rescue your ass because America.
That should be the fourth movie. Token.
Token?
Tooken.
It's called Took. Like it's a soft reboot called Took.
Tooken. Tooken. Tooken.
Yeah. So it's coming. It's coming. It's the action is still, it holds up. But the story is fucking dumb. The acting is bad except for Liam Neeson. And even Liam Neeson's like, I gotta pay for a yacht or something like that. I got a mortgage. Because
that's why he did Taken 3. They gave him $20 million to do that fucking movie.
Yeah, this was definitely a paycheck gig for him. Because this dude was Rob Roy. He's a fucking actor.
I mean, at the time, the action movies he was doing, it was a joke for a long time. Like, if Liam Neeson trained you, you were destined for greatness. Like Anakin, Bruce Wayne. You know what I mean?
And like the one thing that really just pissed me off is like the daughter. Her reasoning for wanting to go to Europe is to follow you two around.
Elevation.
What fucking teenager in the early 2000s wants to follow you two around Europe?
I don't know, but you know what? Not for nothing. They got some bangers. But
they do have some bangers. But like, Are they banging enough?
No,
to, like,
no. They're banging enough to come see when they come to your city.
Yeah, right. Maybe the state over.
Yeah.
So
they do put on a great show.
Yeah. Taken. It's
Tooken.
It's called Tooken. Tooken is white male authority father figure fucking wet dream, man. Like, is fucking might is right, fucking white fear of anything that's different.
Rambo 5.
Yo, can we get a crossover between Tooken and Rambo? Having those two motherfuckers just travel the globe and fucking beat up minorities.
Yo, I got the perfect title for it too.
What is it called?
Nuking Thangs. Like, let me make that movie.
Oh, yep. So get ready for that crossover, 2025. Nuking Things. You gotta say with a twang too. You gotta say
like, I'm gonna have a country star sing the fucking theme song too. Nuking Things.
Nuking Things.
Nuking
Going
Things.
around. Nuking Things. And we'll get Lil Nas X to just do a cameo in there just so they can't say it's not fucking totally racist.
No. We need to go full problematic. Like we need a douchebag, like a fucking douchebag. We'll get Kid Rock.
No, well, Kid Rock's gonna sing the real song, but let's get the baby. Let's get the baby in there. So
Kid Rock featuring the baby.
Yep.
Nuking Things. The movie ends in a climactic NASCAR race because they can't have two. We can't have two heroes. One of these white guys is like, oh well, my dick's bigger than yours.
Right. All right. So NASCAR race, but like with machine guns. So they're driving with their dicks, right? They're steering with their dicks, but they're outside just shooting each other with inexhaustible ammunition as they go around the track. Where's that fucking fan art? Huh? Yeah, let's see that fan art. Who's got the balls to draw that?
Oh shit!
All right, so moving on from nuking things. Oh shit! I've been on a Tony Scott kick lately because Tony Scott just makes me feel. His movies just make me feel good. Like, so I did a double feature of Deja Vu and Man on Fire, and I love fucking like any movie where Denzel teamed up with Tony Scott. I will fucking watch. You know, Deja Vu. It's a time crime movie, but it's fucking slick as shit. It's got all those Tony Scottisms. You know, like Tony Scott was the thinking man's Michael Bay.
Yeah.
And Man on Fire. I told you one of my favorite genres is Denzel Washington fucking killing motherfuckers and out for revenge. And this is the first. This is of that oeuvre of that genre. Man on Fire is just mwah.
Give me
peak.
Equalizer 3 right now.
I cannot wait for Equalizer 3. Woo! Denzel Washington on a mission. God damn. So Man on Fire, Deja Vu, and Nuking Things, aka Tooken, aka Taken, is also on Tubi. Those are the movies we're gonna get. We're gonna get into TV. Nuking Things.
I gotta write that script now. God damn. You know, I could probably easily get that shit made too, because
oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's it's if you do it for $50 million, you guarantee $1.5 billion. Also, not moving on from movies. One more movie. I saw Hustle.
Okay, save that for the main review.
All right. We'll save that for the main review. I watched Miss Marvel, the first episode of Miss Marvel.
Yeah, nigga, fucking, I love this shit.
Fucking, it's too fucking good for the Marvel.
Yes.
IP.
Yes.
It is the perfect. For one thing, the character, Kamala Khan, is written like a real fucking teenage girl.
That's what I told my brother. My thing that I love about this fucking TV show is that first, unlike most of this shit on Disney Plus, where it feels like a movie stretched out, this first episode seems like an episode of TV where they're like, we're going to take our time,
right?
Fuck the super heroics of it. Let's let you fall in love with this character.
Right. And that's the first thing I said straight off the bat. Is like, it's surprising how little fucking super heroics is in the first episode. You know? And the visual styling, it's just like Into the Spider-Verse, a live action version. And I love how inventive and creative it is. And like how you really have to watch it. But it is a bit exhausting.
I was not exhausted by it. This is directed by the first episode anyway, is directed by the dudes who did Bad Boys 3.
Okay.
And it feels like an extension of that because Bad Boys 3 felt like them doing a Michael Bay movie, except where you could see the fucking action and they hold shots and shit like that. Yeah, man. This girl who plays Kamala Khan, because this more than anything feels like the first time in a long time where I've read Miss Marvel comics,
right.
And it just feels like the character literally leapt off the page onto screen without it being corny or pandering. Like, this feels like a character come to life, and it reminds me why I fell in love with the character in the first place.
See, this did what like the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the first three phases, or the first whatever, did for me. I was never a Marvel fan when it came to the actual comics. I was DC do or die. But the movies made me want to read more Marvel comics.
Right.
This show makes me want to do a deep dive into Miss Marvel.
Yeah, she's a great character. She has some great storylines. It does suck that they didn't keep her an Inhuman. And I get her powers are too close to Reed Richards and Mr. Fantastic, but they should have just let it be. But as it is here, I'm not mad at it just because the character herself is still intact and it still works. And it does the thing that Shazam, the thing I loved about Shazam, where there's no cameos or nothing like that. And instead, it uses the larger universe to world build and show you like, oh, people still love these superheroes. Like, it's cool to see like this girl freak out like, oh my God, the Hulk is crazy. Right. Oh my God. Like, you know, it makes sense that she would idolize Captain Marvel just because there's so few female superheroes in this world. Like, Black Widow is like a Russian agent turned SHIELD spy. Right. She's dead. Scarlet Witch, well, that whole shit's problematic. That's a whole other episode. And then who else do we got?
That's honestly, isn't that?
That's basically it
in the cinematic universe. I mean, and Miss Marvel. I mean, it was like Captain Marvel. That's the only.
And that makes sense why this girl would be like, wow, like this woman, she has, and like, you know,
maybe the Wasp.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the Wasp is attached to Ant-Man.
Right.
So like Captain Marvel's untethered. Like, they don't mention, that's the one thing I did like about Captain Marvel. They didn't give her a love story. There's no she has no romantic attachments. We don't talk about her sexuality or love life. She's just, they treat her like they would treat a male character.
Just on mission. Just on mission.
And they are giving Kamala a romantic subplot with her best friend, but it
that's
works.
cute. It's so
it
cute.
works because it's innocent and they're friends first.
Right. It's like
it's not that fucking shit they're doing in Ant-Man where like, oh, we hate each other, but we secretly love each other.
Right. Like I cannot talk enough about how much I love this fucking show.
Right.
You know, like it's once again, it shows that Marvel TV is outpacing the movies. You know, because this looked like everybody cared about it.
Yeah.
You know, and
definitely.
like real world locations. You know, fucking. Like
that's the thing I want to say. Yeah, like no real. This for the first time felt like tangible because it wasn't shot in front of a green screen. They used sets. They used locations.
And it actually looked like New Jersey. It looked like Jersey City.
Yes, and for the first time in a long time, you know, once she gets her powers at the end, the CG looks good.
Yeah,
for fucking once,
right? Because it's not it's part of the practical effects.
Yes,
it enhances the practical effects instead of just being the thing.
Yeah.
So like if you have a chance, watch Miss Marvel. They're only doing an episode a week. They're doing it right. They're letting you know they're making you wait for it.
I'm glad because we get to talk about this. We get to marinate on it. Like I'm probably gonna watch it again sometime this weekend because it's just so enjoyable.
It's
nice to
there.
Yeah, man. It's nice. How can I say this? It's nice to have fun, but have something to chew on at the same time that feeds your mind and your soul.
Right.
Like it makes me feel good, but I'm not like saying like, oh, well, you know, it was fun, but you know, brainless.
And like, I love how I know the stakes are going to be personal and not universal.
Yes.
You know, this is good. This is not,
keep it small scale.
It's small scale. And, you know, that's going to make me more connected to this story because like we've been so used to like everything has universal multi-dimensional stakes. It's good to like have a movie where like, all right, well, if she fucks up, then you know only the people surrounding her, you know, like there's not consequences for the globe because that's a lot of pressure. This is like very personal.
Yes sometimes and that's what I liked about Loki is like a lot of that shit was even though it did affect the overall universe, a lot of that shit was personal to him.
It was about discovery, you know, him discovering who he is.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're doing with Miss Marvel. And you know what, man? Marvel, honestly, more of this. Like you guys need to do what you're doing in the shows, in the movies, more character-based personal journeys.
Moving on from our love fest on Miss Marvel, episode 4 of Obi-Wan.
It's fantastic. It's my favorite episode so far.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day. Like this is the episode that I'm invested now. I'm okay. I see. Like this was the best episode.
I want to say when you were saying last episode in episode 51 about Moses, how she's overacting and how a better director could rein that in and get a great performance out of her.
Right. Mm-hmm.
There's a part where she's interrogating Leia where I'm like, okay, she's doing a good performance, but she's overdoing it. And a more seasoned director
would have been saying like, tone it down, just take it back.
And honed her in. Cause I feel like Moses can give a great performance if she had a better director.
Right. Cause that whole entire interrogation scene with Leia, if she like a better director would have told her, just bring it back.
Play the menace up. Don't be so over the top and physical.
Right. Like just bring it back. It's a little girl.
Her presence there is menace enough.
Right. And then if she had played it like more friendly, honestly, it would have been more intimidating.
Oh, I'm going to get into that in the Black Phone, but that again, the difference between a good seasoned director and a newbie. Like this episode specifically, I was just like, Deborah Chow is almost there now. Right. I see it. I see why she keeps getting what she gets. She's almost there, but she's not quite there.
Right. Yeah. The action was fucking fantastic.
The handheld shit between the third sister and Vader at the end.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So like, this is the best episode so far. So I hope it just keeps this trajectory going forward.
I mean, we got 2 episodes left, 5 and 6.
Right.
And this is what I love. I'm like, okay, we're almost done. This is awesome.
Yep.
We're Book of Boba Fett. I was just like, damn, I can't wait for this shit to be done. That's the one thing, even when I wasn't fully vibing with Obi-Wan, at least I didn't like, I wasn't at the point where I'm like, yo, I wish this shit was done.
Right. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I got.
All right. Well, I haven't had much to watch just because I had to go to New York a couple of days for shit I'm going to talk about in the main review. I got to go to the real IMAX, the 8-story IMAX. It's now the second largest. It used to be the largest, and now it's the second largest in the nation. There's one in Georgia they say is about 10 or 20 feet bigger.
Okay.
I got to see Top Gun on that IMAX, and even though Top Gun is formatted for 1.9 because that IMAX screen is formatted for 1.3, it's a taller aspect ratio. It's still breathtaking, still blows you away. That was the loudest I've ever seen it, It's my third time seeing it, and I will never get tired of being entertained by this movie. It just works. It's just the structure. They make sure to hit every story beat hits in a personal, emotional note, and make sure Maverick, not only does Maverick go on a journey, but every character goes on a journey with him. So like Jennifer Connelly's character goes on a journey. Miles Teller goes on a journey. Even fucking Hangman goes on he's still an asshole, but at least he understands like, hey, it's the team, not me.
Right. This is going to be top 5 for me of the year.
It's amazing how well this plays across every demographic. Like you see old black people, old Mexican people, like young people,
right.
Like there's Asian people, like every type of person is going to see this movie. And I think one thing they did well is they kept it right down the middle. So if you're a Republican, you're gonna love it. If you're a fucking Democrat, you're gonna love it. Right. I read an interview with Joseph Kaczynski. They said they purposely kept the enemy nameless and faceless because the geopolitics of the world change every day. Right. So they said, if they made the what's it called? Because they filmed this 5 years ago. They were like, if we kept the name of the enemies, like let's say they did them Ukrainian, well, that's fucked up.
Right.
Yeah. Because now the Ukraine's under attack. They said we can't do China because we're in the middle of a
trade war
with China. They can't do Russia. Like they kept the enemy nameless and faceless, and it works because now we just know, hey, these motherfuckers have shit that they're not supposed to have, and they are potentially threatening the world. And it takes the politics out the movie. So it's just really a love letter to, the people serving and putting their lives on the line in the military.
So like I will never get sick of this movie. And also, if you listen to episode 50, we had a special guest star, and I forgot to bring this up. Like, this is why he's the biggest star in Hollywood, because not only while he was roasting us, he also threw a commercial in for Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. It's just it's a shame because I went today's Friday. I went on Wednesday because we had a screening on Wednesday, and it was 1:00 on a Wednesday, right? Middle of the fucking day.
Right.
Second week this movie's been out, and it was still sold out.
Yeah, so I feel sorry. I honestly feel sorry for Jurassic World Dominion, because they were hoping.
I don't, because it stole all the fucking screens away from this movie. Yeah. So they lost all the IMAX screens because there's been so many people who want to go see it in IMAX or Dolby, and especially in IMAX, people are like, that's why you go to the movies, for an experience. You know what I mean? People who saw Dune in IMAX said the same thing. Like, you go to the movies for an experience. Like, those two movies, not only do you get swept away by the story they're telling, but it's satisfying just because
it's so well put together and so big.
Yes, and they make you care. They get you invested in what's going on, and it's stuff that you won't get at home.
Yeah, so fucking Top Gun, baby.
Yeah, so
Danger Zone.
They showed real quick. They showed the preview for Nope because they put out a second trailer yesterday. I didn't watch it. I'm not going to watch it. Movie comes out in like a little over a month. I'm chilling. I got my IMAX ticket because, you know, Jordan Peele shot in a combination of IMAX film and 65 millimeter film. There's a part in that trailer where Daniel Kula asks his sister, who's played by Keke Palmer. He's like, is there what's a bad miracle? Is there a word for that? And the old man sitting in front of me during Top Gun, I just hear him very loudly just go, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean,
and the only other thing I'll get into, I'll use Nope as a segue because they showed the trailer for Nope before Bob's Burgers because I went to go see Bob's Burgers again just because, you know, I was like, it was playing on a screen, on a very big screen, and I was like, oh, well, this is probably the only chance I'll be able to see this movie. It's this big. The sound, I've never thought I would say this, the Bob's Burgers movie was too loud. Like, they turned that shit up so loud.
Really?
Yeah. There was an autistic kid sitting in front of me with his like babysitter or his sister.
Right.
And this kid was hyped to see this movie. Like, he sat down and he threw his hands in the air and shouted out, Bob's Burgers. I was like, yo, man, I'm glad you're excited.
Right.
The Nope trailer started and he just loudly turns to his sisters like, I don't want to see this. And I was like, yeah, nigga, I get it. Like, there was a lot of families there. Like, there's a lot of parents taking very young kids to see Bob's Burgers, which is already a questionable choice.
Right, because it's
PG-13,
but like it's
PG-13, not PG.
Right.
And anyways, they showed the trailer for Nope, and I just look around the theater and I just see the fear and terror on all those kids' faces. And I'm like, yes. And there's a dude with his young son at me. No, it was a dude and his young son. It was a white guy and his young son. And once the title of the movie popped up on screen, they both looked at each other and they just went, nope. And then they just went, yep, nope, yep. And I was just like, oh, shit. Because Wednesday, they put out on YouTube a little behind-the-scenes featurette. Gives nothing away about the movie. Jordan Peele says in the featurette, he's like, this is my summer blockbuster. This is what I want to see out of a summer blockbuster. It's an original movie. Probably won't have a sequel, but this is what I go to. This is my version of a big-budget summer blockbuster. Right. And I'm just like, all right, nigga, fucking say no more. Close Encounters of the Third Kind was a summer blockbuster, and that's like Jaws. Jaws is a fucking horror movie, and that's a summer blockbuster.
It's the first summer blockbuster.
Yeah, so like the fact that he's combining Jaws and Close Encounters with the Third Kind with black people, like, all right, nigga, like, say no more. And they're pushing it as a big cinematic experience. So like, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with IMAX and what exactly this movie is going to be.
Yeah.
Because this is my most anticipated movie of the year.
Like, you know, even though we've had this conversation, I've had issues with Jordan, like some of Jordan Peele's movies. I'm always anticipating what he's going to do because no matter what, he's at least an original filmmaker. You know?
Yeah, because he could have cashed out. Like after Get Out alone, he could have cashed out. And he's like, nah, man, fuck that. I want to keep. That's the one thing I do appreciate about Christopher Nolan, too. He's like, yeah, I just want to keep making shit that's not based on anything.
Right.
While we can still get away with it. Because that is shrinking by the day.
Yeah, originality is in as short of supply as wheat is these days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I just read before we start the show, the global recession is going to hit right in December.
So that's cool. Right in time for Christmas.
Yeah. I hope y'all save up your money for Avatar because that might be the last movie we all see for a minute.
Out in the real world, yeah. I mean, we might have a resurgence of fucking underground, fucking theaters or whatever like that.
So Bob's Burgers. I got nothing else to add than what we already said. Like I really enjoy it, but I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, man. Like I got nothing else to say. I'm just glad I got to see it on a very big screen.
Right.
Let's do trailers.
Roll camera and action.
It's time for some trailer talk.
Yeah, Netflix is doing Geek Week, and so because it's Geek Week, we let's get into the first one. Which listen, she's a great actress, but I'm sick of seeing this girl. Jenna Ortega is Wednesday in the new Netflix show produced by Tim Burton. It's basically Wednesday Addams has her own show. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was actually going to be who played the original
Christina Ricci.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Christina Ricci like as an older Wednesday. I didn't know they were,
which would have been cool.
Right.
And honestly, I would love to see Tim Burton's take on the Addams Family. I mean, that goes hand in hand.
Right.
But I'm tired of seeing this girl. She's just everywhere.
And good on her for her success, but like we're gonna get to a point where like, all right, I don't need to see you anymore.
Yeah, because she's in almost every horror property. She was in the fucking Foo Fighters movie 666 Studio 666.
So we're talking Scream 5, Scream 6,
Studio 666. She was in X.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she was in X. Yep.
She was the only female not to do nudity in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. She's been in so much where I'm just like, she's at the point where I was with Lady Gaga when Lady Gaga first came out, where I was just like, yo, give us a break for a little bit.
Yeah. But this teaser for Wednesday is pretty much just a announcement. It's her standing there, and then the thing hops up on her shoulder, and that's it. So it gives you nothing except for she looks like fucking goth and pigtails. What do you want? Like, there's the Wednesday is not a very complex character to bring physically to life.
That's why it's called the Addams Family.
Right.
Moving on. Intergalactic. This looks like basically an adult version of Into the Spider-Verse.
Right. Like I got Waking Life vibes from it. But yeah, it's that same sort of animation style. It looks cool, it looks adult, but once again, it gives you nothing.
I'm a huge Cuddy fan, so I'm gonna watch it. This cast is stacked, and we're getting in addition to the show, there's gonna be a companion album. So it's cool to get another Kid Cudi album so soon, because he just put out Man on the Moon 3 last year.
Right.
So like, yo, listen, I'll take it though. I'm not gonna complain. Like, look, it's cool that Cudi gets to be creative outside of music. Like, he's been acting for a minute now. Right. So look, give it to me.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Like, it looks interesting. Yeah.
All right, Sandman. We forgot to talk about this last episode, but right. We're talking about now. We talked about Joanna Constantine in the last episode. So like, as a whole, it looks like Sandman. Everybody looks like the characters. My thing is just Sandman is so esoteric and philosophical and just weird. I don't know how this is going to be adapted, because you just can't adapt Sandman, especially because like in the first volume of Sandman, he spends like 2 or 3 issues trapped, and we follow a different character, and that storyline with that different character just leads to a weird ending, and then we get back into it because it goes off. The whole series goes off in tangents like that, where we'll follow something that has nothing to do with the main story, and we'll go back to something else. So it's just, I don't know how you're going to do this show.
Right. I mean, we talked about this on the last episode. Like the fans, I feel sorry for it, this show, because it's going to be eviscerated by die-hard fans if they don't stick the landing.
Y'all didn't get away with Cowboy Bebop, and that was an easy alley-oop. Like, all you had to do was literally just take the show and just cut and paste.
And like, for the most part, they kind of did. You know,
it was a slightly different adaptation. Like, they expanded upon some things that didn't need to be expanded upon, but like, I don't know, man.
Like, fans are never going to be happy, but
there's a reason why comic books exist. Like, not every comic book needs to be adapted. Like,
right.
Watchmen kind of proved that, like, sometimes you just, if you're gonna play in that world, you might have to do what?
If you're gonna play in that world, do something different.
Yeah, you got to do a different story. You can't directly adapt the source material, because sometimes the source material is just straight up unadaptable.
And also, we don't know if that's going to happen with Sandman. Maybe they're going to make a left.
I don't trust it to be as weird or as smart or as deep as the comic.
Right.
So, the Munsters, Rob Zombie's The Munsters. I can't believe this movie was trying to happen for like the past 20 years, and it's finally coming.
I was surprised that it's PG.
I'm not, because I mean, it's a sitcom, dude.
Right, but
I know it's Rob Zombie.
Right, but I didn't know if he was gonna try to go for like a PG-13 or an R.
No, you can't do no R-rated monsters.
You can.
No,
you
who the fuck wants to see that?
You can. Should you? There's two different things. You can do it, but should you?
How?
No.
How can you do it?
Like, just fucking put some titties and blood in it, man. That's how you make it art. I'm not saying
What?
they should.
For the Munsters? It's a fucking sitcom, dude.
Dude, it's fucking monsters though. It's it's the Wolfman, it's Vampirella, and it's the Frankenstein's monster. Like, if he wanted to go R, he could. It wouldn't be good, but you could.
I highly disagree with that, but sure.
Like, I'm not saying you can make it good. I'm just saying
I'm saying you can't possibly. That's like trying to make an R-rated Toy Story.
We'll make the like you can make an R-rated Toy Story. It's just not going to be good.
Again, how?
That's not on me. I'm just saying there is a possibility. Do you understand? Like, I'm saying there's a possibility.
There is no possibility for an R-rated Toy Story.
Right, but someone could do that. It's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's just no possibility there. Absolutely.
All right. Okay. All right, go on. But it looks like the monsters. Yeah.
This is one I liked his I liked Devil's Rejects. I want to see 3 from Hell, because I thought his Halloween, I like the first Halloween he did, it was like and the second one was pretty bad. House of a Thousand Corpses was not good. So that's why I was so surprised I liked the Devil's Rejects, but I still need to see 3 from Hell.
If you saw the Devil's Rejects, you saw 3 from Hell. It's the same thing with like luchadors.
Okay. All right.
Guns. Yeah.
Well, I'm rooting for it. I don't want it to be bad.
I used to watch the monsters every day, like after school on Nick at Night. So look, I'm not rooting for him to fail, and he seems really invested in this movie. So maybe it's gonna be good.
All right. Well, let's move into our final trailer, which they didn't. I mean, they actually. I take that back. They did have to go that hard, because this movie's been in development for 20 years. Like, The Rock was supposed to be Shazam. Right. And now we're finally getting it after it was announced before there was even a Man of Steel. Black Adam. This shit looks fucking hard. And it looks hard because they know how to use CG, but mostly rely on practical as well.
Yeah, it looks from that the what did we see? 5 minutes last year, during a fandom. I was like, okay, whatever. But this whole entire completed trailer, it's got me sold on this movie. It looks big. It looks fun. The Rock, the most charming man on the planet, man. Like,
and they just finished doing reshoots. Like, they spent the past couple of weeks doing reshoots. So this movie's nowhere near being done. And the fact that they were able to put a trailer together with finished effects like this, because the effect, they're still probably working on those effects.
Right. So
and the fact that we got this trailer, I'm like, oh shit, I can only listen, as with everything, I want it to be good, baby. Like,
yeah, I mean,
this was originally supposed to come out in July.
Yeah, it looks like a decent superhero blockbuster movie, and it looks like all I want people to do is care. It looks like they fucking cared.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, when you try and put effort into it, like,
right. Because and they also they don't have to play by the, like, we have to build towards a bigger universe, blah 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 bullshit. Like, even though they do, but since the DC EU with this DC cinematic universe is so in shambles now, they can fucking just do whatever they want.
Because if this movie is a hit, you know what Shazam 3 is going to be, right?
Oh yeah, it's going to be Black Adam versus Shazam.
Which means you got to get Henry Cavill back in the cape, because you can't do Black Adam and Shazam without Superman.
Yeah.
So
Henry Cavill, we're rooting for you, man. We're gonna get you in another Superman movie.
Well, I mean, I'm glad the people who took over Warner Brothers have said, like, their number one priority is getting Superman back on the screen. They're trying to figure out how now.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Black Adam, man, please don't let me down. Like, my only complaint is, I wish this was a villain story and not an anti-hero story, because Black Adam is a villain. But I get it. The Rock, he has his public image. So.
Right. The Rock's never going to play a straight up
bad guy
monster. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the main review.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The Film Blurts feature film review.
So we gonna talk about Hustle at all, or
let's start. That's what we're gonna start with.
Okay.
This is what I loved about it. First and foremost, is every single person in this movie, in front of the camera and behind the camera, you could tell loves basketball, and I appreciate. And what makes a movie more. What pulls you in is when people are passionate about the movie they've made. Right. And I feel that passion throughout. Like, there was never a dull moment for me in this movie.
This is basketball's answer to Rocky.
Yeah.
And I just like Winning Time, I don't know a fucking goddamn thing about basketball, but this movie had me thoroughly engaged from start to finish.
Yeah. Yeah, man. This is I wasn't expecting it to take place in Philadelphia.
Well, I knew it was going to take place in Philly because I know a bunch of people who worked behind the scenes on it, like set dressers and stuff like that. Shout out to my man Kadir. So I knew, and it was a big deal all of last year because everyone I knew was like, "Yeah, I'm working on this new Adam Sandler film." The thing about it is, it didn't feel like a Philly movie.
It just felt. The thing about it is, like, for sports drama, everything felt cinematic. Like, if this had come out into a theater and I had to go see this in a press screening or go pay to see it, I would not have been mad just because they made this cinematic.
This is probably Netflix's best shot, best looking original movie.
Yeah, that's not from a auteur.
Right. I don't count Roma or anything like that. But just like straight entertainment. This is the best looking one.
because the handheld works. It's a gritty adult drama without it being dour. You know what I'm saying?
It's hopeful.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah. And once again, Adam Sandler proves that he's actually a fucking actor.
It's really cool. Yeah. Like it's cool to see Adam like
give a damn.
Yeah, and just be passionate because he loves basketball. Like we see the Instagram videos of him hooping in New York and just in LA, just being the guy. He's just like, yo, I'm just here to play pickup basketball. I ain't nothing special. And that passion, like there's a reason why he's a producer in addition to starring in it.
Yeah. My only issue with the movie is it was kind of anticlimactic.
I don't feel that way. I get why you would, but I don't feel that way. My only gripe is I don't think the chemistry was there between Queen Latifah and Adam Sandler, but they made it work.
Right. I mean, it's not like a Amber Heard fucking Jason Momoa situation.
Right. The movie made it work because they believed in what they were doing. Right.
Like they didn't seem like they were in love. They just seemed like really good friends.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wish they had played more on Adam Sandler's relationship with his daughter, juxtaposed with his relationship with the basketball player with
Bo and his daughter. Yeah. I get that.
Like, because he's being a father figure to Bo, and we're referenced how he's been absent from his daughter's life, but there's no resolution.
I mean, they do grow closer because she starts shooting all the viral shit and making that documentary.
Right. I just would have loved just a more concrete sort of resolution where like he just apologizes or something like he's right.
It was cool to see Jaleel White back in shit again.
Jaleel. Yeah. Jaleel White.
Heidi Gardner's in a fucking serious role. This is my first time seeing her in anything serious. I was like, oh shit, she needs to leave SNL too.
Yeah.
Ben Foster was just fucking
scenery chewing, but like Ben Foster play a bad what?
Ben Foster's one of the best actors out right now, but goddamn, he was a dickhead to the point where I'm like, nigga, I want to beat you up.
Right, Ben Foster. If you need a dick or a villain, he's your go-to guy. But if you also need a unlikely hero, he's also your guy. He's a fantastic actor. I've loved everything he's been in. This movie really, it got me.
Yeah,
it was surprising. Like I was just gonna watch it because it was take place in Philly, and I
wanted to watch it because I was like, oh, Adam Sandler's doing another serious role. Yeah, because his next movie is going to be the Savdi's next movie.
Okay, there we go. Like I want more Adam Sandler actually fucking acting.
He cares. Like you just got to find the right projects for him. Like I feel like now it's just inevitable that he's gonna get that statue.
Yeah. I mean, he fucking should have gotten it for
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems, but
I mean, he was even great in Punch Drunk Love, man. Like PTA, and that was at the point where he was only known for comedic roles, and PTA got that performance out of him.
Right.
Shout out to Paul Thomas Anderson.
Always shout out to Paul Thomas Anderson. That's just a standing shout out.
I mean, that nigga made the last Kubrick movie, man.
What was that?
Said that nigga made the last Kubrick movie. Because to me, There Will Be Blood, I was like, dog, this is a Kubrick movie.
Yep.
But yeah, Hustle, man. There's also one thing before we move on. I want to say it's cool seeing a movie use zooms again because nobody likes using zooms.
You really notice it in that scene where he's checking the crowd and you just do that hard zoom into Queen Latifah.
At the end.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the zooms are subtle throughout the movie, but that was the one where they wanted you to notice because the last person to really use zooms was Kubrick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like this, I can't state enough. This is the best at least shot Netflix movie in a while. We'll say that in a while.
Yeah.
Roma's a different thing. Like
I say this is more cinematic than King Richard, and King Richard, not for nothing, was pretty cinematic.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So, shout out to the creative team behind that, the DP. I don't know who that was, and the director. I didn't catch his name, but I know he's a Philly cat.
I want to say, oh man, the thought lost me.
That's right, but fucking Hustle on Netflix. Watch it; it's good.
Please watch it. I wish this came out like a little closer to award season, like September.
Right.
Like at the end of August, beginning of September. All right, so let's move on to, I'm going to give you a quick little review of The Black Phone because I was allowed to attend the junket screening. The Black Phone, I'm very interested to see how normies receive this movie just because it is not in like any way like violence or gore wise. It's just a nasty movie. Like it's nihilistic. Like from the get-go, like this movie is bleak. But the thing I love about it is like for the first time in a long time, this seems like the first movie where Scott Derrickson and Cargyle understood how to write kids and make every kid in this movie, you get where they're coming. Even the bullies in this movie, I'm like, okay, fine. They finally know how to write a bully. It is insane to me because in the first 5 minutes, one of the kids beats up a bully, and this is one of many fights in the movie. I was just like, you're watching two little kids beat the fucking shit out of each other and I'm just like, it is violent. Where I'm just like, bro, you letting a little kid beat another kid like that? I was like, holy shit.
Good.
I was like, fuck. This movie takes place in the 70s. The one thing I love about it is that the supernatural aspects of this movie aren't explained. They don't explain it. I'll let you discover the supernatural stuff on your own, but like this clearly has a world built. You live in this world. It doesn't outstay its welcome. It's like an hour and 38 minutes without credits. With credits, an hour 42. It moves. Everything that's in here is paid off. The best child actors I've seen in a minute, because I'm just like, yeah, they act like kids, but they're not fucking annoying or stupid. Like every decision made in this movie from a character standpoint makes absolute sense.
Okay.
It's rough. It's just a rough movie to watch just because like
it's a mean movie. It's mean.
Yeah, it's a mean movie. I mean, you see the kids' home life, you're just like, fuck me, man. But then you understand where their dad's coming from too, because you're just like, dude, you're a piece of shit, but I understand you. So like, yeah, this I can't recommend it enough. I think this is getting a Dolby Atmos release. Like, see it in Dolby Atmos because the sound design. This is the first movie that's perfectly mixed where they put emphasis on the dialogue.
Oh, thank God.
Over everything. But then like the surrounding, like the way Scott Derrickson uses negative space and the way the camera moves and the way he'll use ambient sound just builds tension. And it builds tension in such a dreadful way where you're just sitting there. There's 3 jump scares. And I hate jump scares, but I got to give it up for them. There were good jump scares. The last one didn't get me because whenever somebody's on a bike or driving a car, I'm always expecting something bad to happen.
I'm always expecting someone to get hit by a car.
So when this little girl's on her bike, there's a jump scare and the whole theater, because all 3 jump scares, the whole theater went, whoa.
Right.
That last one didn't get me, but it got the whole theater. You could literally see every time you could see the whole theater just. So yeah, The Black Phone, I cannot recommend it enough. This is, it makes me mad seeing this movie because I'm just like, God damn it. I want to see Scott Derrickson's Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, so did everyone else.
God damn it! Like this movie is fucking tastic.
No, I know I don't want to see his Multiverse of Madness. I want to see just because Marvel, and Feige probably would have put the chains on him like they put the chains on Raimi.
Yeah,
I want to like keep. I want to see Scott Derrickson's mystical wizard John and the universe of possibilities. I want his Turkish version of Multiverse of Madness.
Well, there's some good news. June 15th, if you live near AMC is doing a advanced screening on June 15th at 7 p.m. Go see it. Get your tickets. Go see it. I'm probably going to go see it again. This is based on a short story by Joe Hill. And for those of you who don't know, Joe Hill is a very successful horror and sci-fi writer. He's had a bunch of novels, short stories, and comics. But he's also the son of Stephen King. So I guess we could count this as another great King adaptation.
I suppose. I mean, I don't even beyond the fact that I know who Joe Hill is. I think he's blazing his own path and doing his own thing. I would really want to see a live action version of the Firefighter.
Yeah. I mean, not for nothing. Joe Hill has some hitters. Shout out. I don't know. I wish I had. There's something in those in that bloodline where I'm like, y'all niggas know how to write.
There's something. There's that water in Maine, man. It's that water. It's that creepy water.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough, man. I think it's ballsy they're putting out in the middle of the summer. Either this is going to be a huge sleeper hit, or people are just going to be like, bleh. It feels like a more mainstream version of Dr. Sleep.
Okay.
And you'll see why I say that once you see the movie.
All right.
I don't want to give too much away, but damn, yeah, this is a nasty movie. I can't wait to see it again.
All right.
Shout out to my fellow sickos.
All right.
So let's get into Lightyear.
Let's first and foremost put this out there. Sox, SOX, is the best droid since R2-D2.
I want a Sox. I know Apple's probably going to watch this movie and cash in. I want a fucking Sox. Give me a Sox prototype.
I want a Sox. I bought you 5 minutes.
Sox, meow, 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 meow.
Yeah. Lightyear is fucking fantastic. We knew it was going to be a good movie, but, we weren't anticipating it to be this good.
Right, because I was excited to see this movie just because Toy Story came out when I was 6 or 7. And I've been a fan ever since I saw that in theaters. Those movies, especially the third one, they're some of the best movies ever made. I knew this was going to be good. I just wasn't expecting it to be this good because I'm just it's a space opera about the origin of the toy of Buzz Lightyear.
And the storytelling, as informed cinema goers, you walk into a movie and you know kind of what's going to happen, right? You anticipate. This did one of those rare things where it made a hard left when I thought
every 10 minutes,
right? It's oh, okay. I didn't. That was not anticipating that. The story is going in a totally different direction, and it's that in itself makes it a fucking fantastic movie.
It is not as intergalactic or otherworldly as the trailers make it out to be, just because it really does take place on this planet. I want you guys just to have your expectations in check. I feel like the sequel will get really, if they make a sequel or decide to make one, it will get really big. But for this one, it's very contained to this planet.
It's that was a smart move, honestly.
Because you know what, man? Watching this movie, I was just like, damn, if this isn't Buzz Lightyear, the action figure. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Buzz is just a fucking idiot and a dickhead, where I'm just like, nigga, You are not the end all be all of the universe.
Right. But like now seeing Buzz Lightyear from the movie, you get it.
Yeah.
You like and like Buzz Lightyear is never an asshole in this just to be an asshole. He is a flawed
Hero.
who's just trying to do the right fucking thing.
Right.
And sometimes the right thing or what you think there's a difference between the actual right thing and what you think is the right thing. And that's a main part of the storytelling here. You know, it's about this, like most Pixar movies, you get some fucking life lessons in this.
When we covered CinemaCon, they showed the first 30 minutes, and I remember saying on the show, people started crying in the first 30 minutes. When I remember sitting there watching it, and then like the first 15, 20 minutes, I'm like, this is all right.
Well,
This might be like low tier Pixar. And then it got to a montage where I'm just like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. The first 30 minutes, yeah, holy shit.
Like, and I get why people like that part didn't make me tear up. It was more towards the end that I teared up, but like it still got me. It still got me.
I'm glad we're on this current trend of having strong Black women in action movies just be action heroes without calling attention to itself.
Right.
Like there's two strong Black women in this movie. I don't want to give it away because there is something more there to it, but one of them is a lesbian, and they just treat it as it is.
Right. Well, just like we said in Jurassic World, Dominion, it's just kind of matter of fact, and then the story moves. Is for the longest time, it was like if they had introduced a minority female who happened to be like gay, she would have to make a big show of it.
Yes.
Like I'm a gay Black woman flying this plane. I'm a gay Black woman in the Space Rangers. And now in this movie, she's like, I'm just a space ranger who happens to have a wife.
Shout out to Uzo. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but you're always to me crazy eyes from Orange is the New Black. Now I gotta watch her season of In Treatment just because like I keep hearing great things about that. And shout out to Kiki Palmer. Like seeing this movie and watching her just like I've been watching interviews of her on the red carpet, and I'm just like, damn, I'm so excited like to see her have a resurgence and her career come back. Like now I'm even more excited for Nope, and I didn't even think that was possible.
Yeah, the voice acting is top tier here.
Taika plays an absolute fucking idiot.
Fuck up.
Like to the point where I'm just like, fucking.
It's like jettison this nigga.
Right in the space.
Yeah.
I don't know who plays the woman, but there's an older woman in this, and there's one part where the whole theater could not stop laughing when Buzz refers to her as the elderly convict.
Let me look up who played. There's been a lot of Buzz Lightyear.
Because they had that TV show. The TV show wasn't too bad, man. It was a traditionally hand animated show. I can't wait to see. While Jeff looks that up, I just want to say I can't wait to see this in IMAX because our screening wasn't in IMAX. It's getting an IMAX release. They, like we said before on the show, it's full IMAX, full 1.3. So if you go to like a 8-story, 6-story IMAX, it's going to take up that whole screen. There's 40 minutes of it in IMAX, and Jeff, I don't even know what's going to be in IMAX because honestly, the whole movie could be
right. The whole
it's
time.
So big.
So Darby Steele is played by Dale Souls.
Okay, yeah.
I have no idea.
I had no idea.
Oh, Orange is the New Black. Oh, wait. Okay. She's also from Orange is the New Black. So the real gruff. I mean, they were all real gruff in Orange is the New Black, but like she ran with the Elder Crew. She was Red's second in command.
Okay, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. there's nothing else I want to say just because I don't want to give anything away. Like, there's some shit with Zurg because I didn't even know Zurg was in this movie. So when Zurg showed up, I wanted to like, I'm a professional.
Right.
But when Zurg showed up, was tempted to get out of my seat and just be like fucking Zurg.
And then
there's a reveal with Zurg where I was just like, oh fuck, what the fuck?
Like I said, did not see that coming.
I didn't either. I was like, oh shit.
And like, we do this. Like, this is what we do, and we didn't see that coming.
Yo, like, I cannot wait to see everybody's reaction when I go see it in IMAX.
Yeah. So like like Lightyear, it's
not the best Pixar movie,
but it's certainly like even the worst Pixar movie is still better than a lot of other movies' best, or a lot of studios' best. And this by far is not like it's a fantastic movie. Don't expect it to be on Toy Story levels. Yeah. This is just a very good space opera, better than most of the Star Wars that we got. Right, and I like for a movie like this, you ask why. You know, why does this deserve to be made? Right, this movie answers that question. Like it proves that it deserves existence. Yeah, because not only is it great on its own, but in relation to Toy Story, it makes Toy Story a little bit better. Yes. You know? Hopefully, please, I'm gonna say this. I'm begging you guys, refund your tickets for Dominion and Minions. Like, don't take your kids to see Minions. Take them to see this. So that way, not only can we get a sequel to this, hopefully, if they have a sequel, if they have a story. I only want to, for Pixar, if you guys have the story, do it. But if not, don't do it. Because I don't want Cars 2 and 3. Yeah, don't try to make money off of this. Yeah. Try to make art. But please go see this and make this successful, because now I want to see the spaghetti Western or just the Western with Woody. Yeah. Like, I want to see the origins of Woody now. Right. Let's get the Woody movie with Jesse. What's the horse's name? Bullseye. Okay. All right. And old Pete the Prospector. If they do make that Woody Western movie, do you think old Pete the Prospector will be the villain again? I don't know. Yeah. Do you think they'll put Bo Peep in there or not? No, because like Bo Peep's not, like, I wouldn't see her in a Western, right? I mean, she would fit because she does have old timey clothes. Yeah, but I don't think there was female sheep herders back then. Right, and you wouldn't need a sheep herder because you've got cowboys, you know? Yeah, which makes me question how they're gonna do Jesse, just because, you know, misogyny. Westerns are fucking misogynistic. Like, sorry. But, you know, give us the Woody spaghetti Western. Yeah. And that'll make much more sense after you see Lightyear. Yeah, because, you know, listen, I was expecting a very good movie I was going to be entertained by. Right. I wasn't expecting to be, you know, emotionally moved by this. And honestly, that title card, you know? Yeah, at the beginning, that change, like, that's where it first went left for me. Right? It's like, right. Oh, that title card refocuses all of my expectations. It also reconfigured. It gives a little more context to Toy Story, the first one now. Yeah. So, like I said, it makes Toy Story better. Yeah. So, man, goddamn, please go see Lightyear. That's all I can say. All right. We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist. I'm the protagonist. I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains. Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFire XL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.